Thank you for attending the 8th Cannabis Investor Webcast. Our platinum sponsors today are Cannabis Science Incorporated, Tariga Sciences Incorporated, Naturally Splendid Limited, Kaya Holdings Incorporated, Nemus Bioscience Incorporated, Technical 420, California Liberty Alliance and California Liberty Alliance PAC, and Canna Publicly Traded Companies Investor, Analyst, and Media Conference. Please reserve the date May 23, 2016 for the first annual Cannabis Publicly Traded Companies Investor, Analyst, and Media Conference. Our presenter at 2 p.m. is Craig Goodwin, CEO of Naturally Splendid Limited.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I would like to thank you for this opportunity to present to your listeners today. This is our second opportunity to present. I believe the last one was approximately 60 days ago, so I'll be providing an overall corporate update and to provide some details on the progress of Naturally Splendid. So with that, Derwin, I will begin the presentation if everyone is ready. Thank you very much. So our company details, for those of you who don't have a background on Naturally Splendid or are not listeners in our previous presentation, Naturally Splendid is headquartered in Vancouver, BC, and we also have operations in Denver, Colorado. We became a public company in March of 2013, and we're currently listed on several stock exchanges, the TSX Venture, the OTCQB, and Frankfurt. We've had many milestones since our incorporation that has seen the company evolve from a functional food company to one who is involved in the bioavailable sciences, biotechnology. We have acquired several technologies as well as processing capacity. We have been able to secure the right professional support in us operating and launching our strategic business plan. I won't go through each milestone, but it is available to review for your listeners in our PowerPoint presentation. Our primary purpose is that Naturally Splendid is now positioned to capitalize on the booming health and wellness markets through the development and commercialization of market-disruptive plant-based products and technologies. And over the next few minutes, I'll go into details on what this means to our investors. Our core offerings, from a biotech company to ingredients to retail products, Naturally Splendid delivers on all these opportunities. In our biotech division, we have Omega Nutrition, we have plant-based bioactive ingredients, cannabinoid nutraceuticals, we have consulting services, we're an ingredient solution provider, and we've just secured manufacturing and production in a facility in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. We've already launched 2 retail brands, Natera Hemp Foods, which is obviously a line of products intended for human consumption, and we've launched a pet care line and a pet nutritional line called Positive Effects. So we have developed into a vertically integrated operation, and we are involved right with our farmers and bulk through retail distribution. But Naturally Splendid Enterprises looks after the retail and bulk. That is our distribution arm. It is our functional as well as our pet food lines. We have been able to obtain the majority of our technologies through full spectrum laboratories. We have proprietary and patent pending technologies that we have secured global rights to. The manufacturing facility that I was referring to a minute ago is known as the POS BPC processing facility, and that is located on the grounds of the University of Saskatchewan. To replace that facility in today's dollars is about $30 million. Naturally Splendid owns 51% of that facility, and it has the capacity to be a toll processing facility for global clients. Naturally Splendid USA, on the other hand, is more focused on the cannabinoid opportunities, and it's why we're established in Denver, Colorado, which is one of the obvious first movers in the medical and recreational marijuana space. And they also have legalized the first industrial hemp crop in about 50 years in the United States. So the first three boxes really address our opportunity in Canada. And then the Naturally Splendid USA, because of the regulatory environment, is focused in cannabinoid formulation and cannabinoid marketing in the United States. So this is our organizational chart and how we become a vertically integrated operation and how we service our vast range of clients. We have secured bulk supplies of industrial hemp for Naturally Splendid. That supply of raw hemp products will supply 2015 and 2016, so there's no shortage. We're able to meet market demands. The bulk supply obviously is a pipeline for our wholesale, which we private label. Our first private label client is Laguna Blends. Laguna has an LOI in place that we should turn into a definitive agreement within the very short future here. It's in regards to a original purchase order of $100,000. They've committed to buying $1.5 million of product from Naturally Splendid in the first year and $4.5 million of product from Naturally Splendid in the second year. So we do private label, and that's our wholesale division. As described earlier, our first reach into the market was through retail brands, Natera and Positive Effects. And this basically feeds the pipeline for retail products. We have an opportunity for line extensions as well as extending that product line throughout, starting with Canada, the United States, and then looking at global opportunities. But the center of this slide, the biotech opportunity, is where I believe the largest upside opportunity exists. We have created revolutionary omega-based products that we believe will fill a need and a growing demand for plant-based omegas. And our omega and other ingredients are intended for human consumption, the pet markets, as well as livestock opportunities. And then, of course, on the right-hand side of the page, NSP USA, we will be licensing our cannabinoid extraction and formulation technologies. We will be doing our own industrial hemp processing, and we are looking to be a toll processor for the growing demand for this type of service in the United States. So just to summarize the USA, we will be in the cannabinoid market. We recently signed an exclusive arrangement, an exclusive distributorship with Medrofarm of Switzerland to be their exclusive distributor for their cannabinoid-based products in the United States. So our divisions inside that vertically integrated organizational chart, POS BPC, that is located in Saskatoon. It's 12,000 square feet of toll processing facility. As indicated earlier, the replacement cost in today's dollars is about $30 million, and it's where we develop our bioavailable plant-based ingredients. Naturally Splendid BCI, that is our bulk division, and we are suppliers of high-quality plant-based bulk extracts and ingredients, and below is listed a few of the ingredients that we have exclusive rights to. Next to that is Natera and Positive Effects, representing our retail lines, and once again, Naturally Splendid USA, which is focused on our cannabinoid opportunities in the United States. So I just want to talk about our facilities. Naturally Splendid BCI, that's the bulk ingredient division. As I indicated, supplier of high-quality plant-based bulk extracts. We manufacture in our own facility. This is a game changer, my friends, because we do not have to contract manufacture. We are able to represent ourselves to our clients as our own processors. It is a differentiator, and I challenge most other companies with their facilities when compared to our $30 million facility. Listed below are a number of the extracts and products that we deliver. and we believe that the market, the appetite for these products continues to grow at incredible rates, double-digit rates in most cases. The functional food market continues to grow faster than regular groceries. POS BPC Manufacturing Corp. Naturally Splendid was able to secure 51% of that facility in a transaction about a month ago. We paid $1.75 million cash and $250,000 in Naturally Splendid stock. This may be going back to the well too many times, but I do want to just point out once again that this facility in today's dollars is about a $30 million facility. It gives us a definite advantage because we no longer have to contract manufacture, and those margins, that profitability goes right to our bottom line. I won't go into a lot of the details on all the extraction and formulation technologies, but rest assured it is of the highest quality and of the highest certifications. Our strategic partner, and I do want to point out the difference between POS BPC, which we own 51% of, and POS Biosciences. POS Biosciences was formerly the parent to POS BPC that we purchased 51% of. They are the owners of the other 49% of the toll processing facility. But with this strategic partnership, we're able to partner with POS Biosciences and their extensive research and development team that have been operating in the oil extraction and formulation business for over 38 years, developing revolutionary products. And in fact, this is where we perfected our hemp omega technology and where we have a $250,000 budget for further extraction and formulation technologies. We have a number of products in the works right now, and we'll be reporting in the very near future in advancements on new products that we're bringing to market. But this facility is 54,000 square feet. It has about $100 million of equipment inside. They have 5 pilot plants. There's an opportunity that the clients from POS Biosciences will in fact become clients of our joint venture at POS BPC. So the idea is that we would take clients for product development at the bioscience facility, and once the science is proved out, we will then do their toll processing at the facility that we just purchased 51% of. That revenue model could be anywhere from $7 to $10 million annually, depending on the type of products that we choose to manufacture in that facility. So now our other strategic partner, and this is the cannabinoid opportunity. Originally, our intention was to build a hemp processing facility in the state of Colorado. And we had budgeted up to $2 million to build our own facility that we would then have David Race, one of our directors, run. In fact, David is our president of Naturally Splendid USA. As we all know who've been involved in this business, the regulatory environment continues to evolve. But in our mind, it had not evolved to the stage that warranted a $2 million investment in infrastructure. Yet we still wanted to be part of the cannabinoid opportunity in the United States. So it was with this in mind that we literally searched the world to find high-end, highly accredited, efficacious producers of cannabinoids. And this led us to MedroPharm. We believe they are the highest quality cannabinoid supplier in the market today. They control over 3,500 hectares of hemp fields. They have ongoing research. They are highly certified and accredited, and they continue to work with Swiss universities developing advanced technologies and products. This is a relatively new relationship, but it is one that has got off to a great start. We work very closely with MedroPharm. Last week, we sent out over 20 cannabinoid samples to clients who have requested that from us in the United States. We are expecting those samples literally to be arriving at these potential clients today and tomorrow. The idea is they will then do their own testing. If they are able to confirm the data that we have, we would obviously then begin discussions for purchase orders. So rather than build a $2 million facility in an environment where we were not confident in the regulatory status as it is currently, we saved $2 million and yet secured highly efficacious cannabinoid products. I believe this was a game changer, and quite frankly, I don't know if it was understood by the general market as the deal that it should have been given credit for. Saving $2 million in capital costs and yet still securing exclusive distributorship for high-end cannabinoids really is a game changer. Our exclusive technologies that I've been referring to. We have market disruptive extraction and formulation technologies in plant-based omegas, and this is the ability to take omegas and turn them into water-soluble powders. We're also able to take cannabinoids from industrial hemp and marijuana, depending on the cannabinoid that we're looking for. Our highly advanced extraction and formulation technologies are in high demand in the United States and, in fact, globally. Naturally Splendid was able to secure the world's first water-soluble cannabinoid patent. And what this allows us to do is to take a compound that is, I guess, historically very difficult to manipulate into end products. A cannabinoid, if you will, is almost, think of honey in the refrigerator. It's very thick, it's very hard to manipulate, and it's hard to get efficacious, measurable, consistent dosages. With our water-soluble technology, we're able to address that, opening up markets for cannabinoids that have never been available before. And we believe that this will drive sales for Naturally Splendid in 2015. We also have developed bioactive plant-based ingredients. And I just want to stop at that for 1 second to let you know what that is. There was another company recently purchased by a New York Stock Exchange company, I believe it was, called Vega. They are based in plant-based bioactive ingredients. And that company recently sold for $550 million US. Naturally Splendid has the ability to create the same type of plant-based ingredients, and in fact our technologies allow it to take it a step even further to make the bioavailability even more impressive than just standard plant-based ingredients. Most of these technologies, as indicated before, have been licensed from Full Spectrum Laboratories, who spent over $18 million developing the technologies that Naturally Splendid secured for under $2 million. The omega opportunity, I think, is the biggest one in front of us. And I like the cannabinoid space, but as indicated earlier in this conversation, is that the regulatory environment continues to evolve. We think that there's almost an insatiable demand for cannabinoids, but we don't know exactly when the regulatory environment will take the handcuffs off everybody and allow us to deal openly with transparency within an identified regulatory environment. So in that case, we are focusing on our omega technology. And as indicated, we can transform omega oils into water-soluble powders. We can do this with a wide range of plant-based oils, which include hemp, flax, canola, chia, and even algae. These products are intended for markets that include human, pet food, and animal applications, feeding them to, we call it feedstock products, where we feed formulations to animals intended for human consumption, beef, poultry, that type of product. We did a study where we fed poultry our hemp omega. The omega concentrations in the end product were off the charts. We are currently working to perfect feed for the poultry division of some of North America's largest companies. So that is an excellent opportunity for Naturally Splendid in the immediate future. Basically, to summarize this, our technology enables previously difficult or impossible formulations to become possible and to become profitable and commercial products. The cannabinoid opportunity, even given the regulatory challenges, is massive. And we have exclusive global technology to the world's first water-soluble cannabinoid patent. But we also have this opportunity to penetrate the market right now with the products that are developed at Medro Farm in Switzerland. So we have a two-pronged approach here. One, bringing revolutionary water-soluble technology to the market. And while the market begins to identify and recognize and appreciate what this technology means to end products, we are able to develop cannabinoid products that are currently being bought in the market. Our breakthrough technologies, though, it will facilitate major advances in the production of CBD-based medicines and supplements. And it goes back to my earlier statement that the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges in making efficacious, consistent, measurable medicine is the ability to manipulate the actual cannabinoids. They're very difficult to manipulate. Our water-soluble cannabinoid technology addresses this. In short, opening up opportunities for this medicine that has not been available for commercialization before this technology was perfected. Our bioavailable ingredients and bulk sales. And I like to refer back to this because I was very impressed when a company literally from the lower mainland of Vancouver, not far from where Naturally Splendid is located, sold for $550 million US. They were heavily involved in bioactive plant-based ingredients. We have bioavailable plant-based ingredients. We also have global sale opportunities for our base hemp products. And that would be hemp seed, hemp protein, and hemp oil. Hemp is a very hot commodity in the world today. There are only 3 processors in Canada. We have a strategic partnership with arguably one of the largest of the 3, and they have given us the ability to be able to service global demand for raw hemp products. These hemp-derived products and ingredients can be used for markets as varied as food and beverage, and this is including even hemp beers. We've been approached by several breweries, sports nutrition, the pet market, and the livestock market, which I've already identified. But omegas are also in high demand for cosmetics. The opportunity for massive margins in the cosmetic opportunity just sometimes is hard to believe. Anybody who has a wife or girlfriend who shops for cosmetics, it's not unusual to come back with bills of several $100s for just grams of products. And these are basically based on essential fatty acids. We believe our technology allows us to penetrate this cosmetic market. So our market opportunities, we talked a lot about the people involved. We talked about our technologies and our processing capacity, and where do we take it? Is the market really there for us? Well, the global functional food market that our retail lines would be perfectly suited for is a $240 billion a year industry. We're also able to take those plant-based ingredients and market them to larger companies, food processors, who can then include them in their own formulations. We do the same thing with our omega-3 food opportunities. Our technologies allow for us to penetrate markets that have never been available before for omega nutrition. Up until now, the vast majority of omega nutrition has been through pills and capsules. But what we're able to do is take that oil, turn it into a powder, which then can be included in formulations. Once again, opening up market opportunities that have never been available before for omega products. Touching on our opportunity in the United States, the legal cannabis market in the United States right now, we're estimated to reach $10 billion by 2019. That might be light. And right now in Colorado, with only 5 million people, that's men, women, and children, in 2014, they did $500 million of total marijuana business, and it's expected to reach as high as $1 billion. We've seen reports in 2015. So our potential revenues. Now, I do apologize for this particular slide. We tried to lay it out in a number of ways. The easiest way to interpret this is let's go straight to the bottom where we can take a look at the actual figures and then correlate it with the chart above. But our hemp omega products We believe we'll still see over half a million dollars in 2015. Our bulk division is getting inquiries as far away as Thailand and Korea. And our CBD opportunity in the United States has just been launched. And right now, as I said, we have sampled out to over 20 interested prospects and clients. Our retail line should generate over $1 million this year. So in 2015, we can see revenues. We project revenues just over $4 million. We believe that will grow to $15 million in 2016 and over $20 million in gross revenue in 2017. So as an investor, naturally, what else can we look at in this market? First of all, you need to understand the technologies and the products and the processing capacity. But once we do this, how are other companies being accepted by investors in our space? Well, Burcon is a Vancouver-based company in the protein extraction and formulation business. I do not believe they are profitable, and they have over $100 million market cap. They're in protein extraction. Naturally Splendid has protein extraction. Neptune Technologies is an Omega based company located in Quebec, I believe. They are not profitable either, but they have sales in that 17, I believe, $million range and a market cap of $175 million. Naturally Splendid has Omega extraction and formulation technologies, similar to products that Neptune Technologies would want to bring to market. Cannabis is a distributor of hemp and CBD products. At one point, they had a market value or market cap of over $85 million, representing almost 10 times the revenue sales, a multiple of 10 times. There's been a couple of large purchases of private companies in this space. I've referred to Vega, which is a bioavailable plant-based company, purchased just a month ago for $550 million US. And Manitoba Harvest, which is a Canadian company that sells hemp seed and hemp protein, and in smaller quantities, a couple of niche market product items in the milk category or hemp milk category, I believe. I think they had $6 million in profit last year, yet they sold for $132 million recently. So in summary, guys, companies, and this is why Naturally Splendid has set up several different divisions. Any one of those divisions could easily be a target or a sale opportunity for Naturally Splendid. At this point, our strategy is to grow the divisions, but of course we would entertain offers if somebody came to us and wanted to purchase a division. We cover the gambit here. We have protein extraction formulation technologies like Burcon. We have Omega extraction and formulation technologies like Neptune. We're very similar to Vega with bioavailable plant-based ingredients. We have cannabinoids like Cannabis. Our Natera line is similar to Annie's Organics, and our Natera line is also very similar to Manitoba Harvest. So there are 6 success stories that are on the screen in front of you that are all individual little stories. Naturally Splendid incorporates all 6 of these successful companies into one investment opportunity. So the leadership team, I've been in the venture capital business, involved in way back from the Vancouver Stock Exchange, Toronto Stock Exchange, ranging almost 30 years. I worked for the largest outdoor advertising company in the world when I was with them, the Jim Pattison Group. And I'm one of the founders for Naturally Splendid. Brian Carson is also the co-founder, has extensive retail experience. Chuck Jenkins has been in the market for over 30 years. But I want to stop at David Race for 1 second. David is a former senior executive for several global pharmaceutical companies, including Glaxo and Novartis and Pfizer. He was the operator of a 30,000 square foot indoor grow facility in Colorado. In fact, one of the first fully compliant grows in Colorado, which is why our head office is there now. David runs our USA opportunity. He is one of the most respected professionals in the medical marijuana and industrial hemp space, and it's with his reputation that we've been able to reach out to existing cannabinoid players and offer our superior products. Charlie Brink was the founder of a company called NSP.V, a functional beverage. And let's go back to one of our previous slides. Naturally Splendid has the capacity to create functional beverages. Charlie Brink was the founder of NSP.V. In 3 years, he accumulated $1 billion in sales, and in year 4, he did $1 billion in sales in a single functional beverage. So in short, in 4 years, he did $2 billion in sales. The chief operating officer of that company, building 12 distribution centers at that time, was none other than David Race. So putting David in charge of our U.S. opportunity and asking him to grow that at aggressive rates is well within David's capability and well within Charlie's vision. Peter Hughes is a director with another industrial company called Kelso. It is an industrial company on the Toronto Stock Exchange that went from 40 cents to $7 a share. They went from $0 in revenue, and I believe their last reporting quarter, they have done $27 million in sales in 2015. Peter is helping guide us in growing our top-line sales, and it's a lot of the fundamental business principles that he put in place with Kelso that are being transferred to Naturally Splendid, and we expect our sales to grow as aggressively as he did with Kelso. Russ Crawford is the current president of the Canadian Hemp Trade Alliance. We were one of the first industrial hemp companies to go public, and we didn't do so until we had the proper expertise surrounding us, and Russ Crawford was a vital component to that expertise piece that we needed, and he continues to be very active with Naturally Splendid. But it's our advisory board that I want to touch on just for a minute here, folks. And I want to tell you who is behind our board of directors, giving them advice, offering expertise, and in fact, opening up their Rolodex and their global contacts in the food industry. And our advisors range from Ted McKechnie, the former president of Maple Leaf Foods, one of Canada's largest food processing companies. It includes Doug Mason, who is the founder of Clearly Canadian, another functional beverage that in year 3 accumulated $238 million in sales. Another success story of a member of the Naturally Splendid team who's able to create hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. And that's when I say we want to go to $20 million in 3 years. It's well within our capability. Dave Edo is the CEO of the BC Dairy Association. Our hemp omega products, as well as our other bioavailable plant-based ingredients, are perfect for the dairy market. We did an extrapolation and looked to see what the opportunity was for a plant-based omega ingredient in the dairy industry, and we believe that a 1% penetration in Canada alone of omega-enhanced liquid milk would return over $5 million in annual sales to Naturally Splendid. And that's just one omega product in a very small country of Canada. And lots of times we like to do, we do that 10 times multiplying factor. If it's worth $5 million a year in Canada, can it be worth as much as $50 million a year in the United States? So let's be conservative and say it's not 10 times, but maybe just twice the opportunity. And you begin to grasp why we believe there's massive upside potential with our revolutionary plant-based omega ingredients. Rick Green is a PhD out of POS Biosciences. And when we purchased 51% of the toll processing facility, POS BPC, Rick came on board because we needed that level of expertise to fully utilize the capacity, the technology, and the opportunity of that facility. The common theme that we have been portraying all along is being able to secure people who are being very successful in their particular industries and assembling them under one company. The other people that we have involved is Peter Howes. He's a former VP of the Jim Pattison Group. And Mitch Berger, who's actually an NFL Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mitch is actually helping us develop sports-related products and opportunities, and he's working very close with Rick Green at POS Biosciences, developing revolutionary functional beverages and products. And the one person I did manage to skip over is Don Wood, but I do want to go back to him. He is the former CEO of Arrowhead Water. Don is working on a specific project right now. Many of you will be familiar with a company called Vitamin Water. Vitamin Water arguably had minimal, I guess, or some, I guess would be more fair to say. So Vitamin Water had some nutritional benefit to their product line, but was one heck of a marketing opportunity. Don has been tasked with helping develop Omega Water. And we're doing this at the POS Biosciences with the help of Rick Green and Mitch Berger, developing a line of omega-enhanced waters and beverages. We believe this opportunity is huge. Our share structure is still relatively tight for this stage of a company. We actually hit over $1, and when we went to $1, that was in anticipation of Naturally Splendid completing on a couple of our LOIs. And those two LOIs that we completed on, that I think the market got heated up over, was one, securing processing capacity in Canada, which we did at the POS BPC facility. And the second one was entering the cannabinoid opportunity, or the cannabinoid market in the United States, which we were able to do with no capital infusion, and by securing Medro Farm as their exclusive distributor for cannabinoid products in the United States. I believe it was these two pieces of news, before they were signed as final agreements, that drove the share price to over $1. Of course, it is disappointing to see the stock fall back like it did when we signed the deals. People, of course, are waiting for POs, but you cannot get a PO until you put the proper foundation in place. And that proper foundation is securing processing capacity, it's securing in Canada, it's securing cannabinoid products for the United States, and it's assembling a team of experts to help execute a strategic business plan that is relatively sophisticated, but easily executed when done by a team of experts. So the rest of the stats on that particular page are self-explanatory. Our competitive advantage, we already have established relationships. We have competitive cost advantages, and we also have sustainable practices in the area of omegas specifically. The vast majority of omegas are generated from the ocean today. Fish oil is the #1 omega product in the market, but the oceans can no longer sustain the demand on omegas that the world is putting on it. And so that needs to be replaced with something. And we believe it is to be a plant-based omega solution. That plant-based omega solution must be made into a commercial commodity, and that is a water-soluble powder that has superior bioavailability and sustainability features. So NSP has a wise investment. Let me summarize for you. We have patented disruptive technologies for the $35 billion omega supplement industry. We also have the world's first patent-pending water-soluble technology for the extraction and formulation of CBDs. We have multiple cannabinoid extraction and patented formulation technologies that we haven't even introduced to the market yet, and we continue to develop opportunities for. As described, I believe we have a world-class brain trust and advisory board. We have a very advantageous share structure, and our management team, including our advisory board, is very focused. I can tell you that our advisors are retained with options in the company. In short, for them to be successful financially in our company, they must help us generate sales, which would then, one would imagine, would generate increased share prices, and that's how they will be compensated. So in conclusion, Naturally Splendid is now ideally positioned to capitalize on its recently acquired patented formulation technologies. And we will continue to do so not only in 2015, but in 2016 and 2017 moving forward. And with key acquisitions such as the POS BPC manufacturing facility, the establishment of strategic partnerships and the addition of food and beverage industry leaders to the advisory board, Naturally Splendid believes that we have assembled all the ingredients necessary to deliver significant value to all of our shareholders. That is our contact information. I encourage you to reach out to us. We try to get back to everybody. It's not unusual for me to take calls personally. I try to stay in touch with as many of our shareholders as possible. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Derwin, at that conclusion, that would be the end of our presentation. If there are any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them. We have a number of websites that is included on information that we provided, and I encourage you to visit our websites. And the first one that I would like to go into is, if you have a chance and if you have pens ready, it's hempomega.com. So hempomega.com, and that will give you an idea of what we're able to do with our technology and our processing facility. And now you can use your own imagination to determine how big that opportunity is in the world today. So Dermot, I do want to thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with all your listeners today. If there are any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you, Craig, for updating us on your company's initiatives. Derwin's here to ask a few questions from the attendees from our questionnaire list.
The first question is, what is your total company revenue target for the remainder of 2015 and 2016, and will you be profitable in those years?
Absolutely. That was going back to a slide. I'll go back to it. So in 2015, we're looking at sales of $4.2 million. We believe that those numbers are attainable. We are on target for the retail numbers to hit. The CBD opportunity is brand new. The samples went out last week, but we have had enough inquiries that we believe that $1 million number will be attainable. As described earlier in our conversation, we are entertaining global bulk opportunities, and I have described how large the Hemp Omega market will potentially be. So we believe over $4 million in sales is possible for 2015, and yes, that does make us profitable. In 2016, even though it is a 400% growth, it is well within the capability of the expertise of the management team that we have assembled to grow fourfold in a single year. And that $15 million number, we will be extremely profitable, because the more we buy, the more we produce, the more our margins increase. So we have a model in place that the larger our volumes, the bigger our margins. And that synergy creates a much larger bottom line percentage-wise as our sales increase.
Next question. What is the current total manufacturing capacity in terms of dollars at POS annually?
Sure.
Top annual earning potential?
Absolutely. You know, it's a very difficult question to answer, and I'll tell you why. There are a number of clients that we are looking at right now for POS BPC. And the challenge is that not all client processes are charged the same rate. So in these numbers, we don't have a flat rate of $1,000 an hour to use our facility. What we do have is the ability to select profitable opportunities with clients who can use those facilities. That facility can rent out, depending on the services offered, for as little as $100,000 a week, and we're also entertaining clients who will pay us as much as $500,000 a week, because their processing, requirements are of a higher scientific demand, that there aren't as many people out there that can produce the products that they need, allowing us a higher rate of charging for our facilities. So at $100,000 a month, that's still, you know, up to $400,000. I'm sorry, $100,000 a week would still generate $400,000 a month at full capacity, which would put us around $5 million. but we also have clients, as I indicated, that we would charge up to $500,000 a week, and we can do the math from that, $2 million a month, $24 million a year. The truth is, it's somewhere in between that 5 and that 24, depending on our clientele mix.
Next question, what is the CBD regulatory environment in Canada at present?
Yeah, you know what, it's we have the exclusive rights to North America for Medro Farm, but the truth is right now you cannot do cannabinoid extraction and formulation in Canada. There have been several court cases recently, and each one of them is a step in the right direction for full regulatory approval of cannabinoid extraction and formulation, but we're not there yet. We see a lot of gray market and, in fact, black market CBD products out there right now, but of course, naturally, Splendid is not involved in those markets. We will not be involved in those markets until the regulatory environment allows to operate with full transparency. So at this time, there are no real CBD specific opportunities in Canada. When the regulatory environment does change, and it will, we believe we can go to companies such as Tweed and Organigram and offer them our water-soluble cannabinoid technology that we believe in turn will give them competitive advantages over other traditional grow operations. So we can take their cannabinoids, THC if you will, and put it into highly efficacious measurable dosages that we can truly call medicine. In short, Derwin, right now the cannabinoid opportunity in Canada is non-existent, but it is close to being a market. If you want to be in that market, you don't start 6 months down the road when the regulatory environment clears. If you're just getting to the starting line, then you've missed the boat. Naturally, Splendid, in turn, has secured exclusive distributor rights and has a suite of products ready to launch into Canada when the regulatory environment will allow it.
Okay, next question. You recently had a private placement of $1.6 million. Who bought those shares? Was it mainly accredited investors or institutional investors? And what would be your burn rate on that? I guess it's meaning that how fast do you think you would burn through that $1.6 million and have to do another capital raise?
Yeah, you know what? That particular raise came from accredited investors and previous shareholders. I would say 90% of that, maybe 85% of the funds raised was from accredited investors or previous shareholders. What we see with Naturally Splendid, the larger accredited, sophisticated investor has ended up being a long-term investor for Naturally Splendid. I can tell you that the majority of that raise was earmarked for the purchase, the acquisition of POS. And as far as future raises, that will be contingent on what kind of revenue that we're able to generate in the short, medium, and long term, as well as if we are targeting any other acquisition targets. So there's an opportunity to grow through acquisition, securing top-line sales. The reason why that would be important to shareholders is that we are seeing up to a 10-time multiple on a market cap in relation to top-line sales. Our immediate needs, are looked after capital-wise. I don't think it's the time to be raising money right now, especially at these share prices. There have been some global economic scenarios that have made it challenging to be in certain stock markets. I don't need to go into the political or financial landscape of countries like Greece and China, or in fact that the TSX Venture about a week ago was right at its historical low. All these scenarios, not any one in particular, but all of them combined would make it difficult for an aggressive capital raise. There is opportunity for Naturally Splendid, however, perhaps to secure additional working capital if it was so desired through a number of other investment vehicles. I'm just not aggressive right now in the raise at current market prices. If there was an acquisition target or a revenue opportunity that needed significant capital, I believe we could go back to the market and with the support of our shareholders be able to secure that asset if we deemed it valuable enough to do a raise at these rates or in the near future.
So Craig, you do have enough cash to last you throughout this year?
To the end of the year, if we wanted to, you know what, if we wanted to grow aggressively and keep the foot on the gas like we have, I would say between now and the end of the year, it's likely that we would look at another capital raise. There are opportunities that are coming to us. We're not aggressively searching for them. To provide some clarity around this, I believe Naturally Splendid has everything in place that we need right now. We have the personnel, we have the technology, we have processing capacity, and we have the personnel to carry our strategic business plan forward. However, if we could accelerate the growth by injecting capital into the equation somewhere, and it made fiscal sense, then we would do a capital raise. We're getting inquiries more in, I guess, I don't know if it's humorous or not, but in 2012, when Brian Carson, the co-founder of the company, and myself first launched the idea of an industrial hemp company, there weren't a lot of people prepared to back that with cash. Nowadays, we turn down many offers of capital injection, and we select only those that make sense to the shareholders of Naturally Splendid and the overall health of the company. So, you know, if we want to continue to be aggressive, we will do more capital raises, but we will do it from a position of strength, not weakness.
Are they receptive, or are they still on the sidelines, and why do you think they're on the sidelines?
You know what, we continue a dialogue with multiple institutions. And we believe that doing the hard work, doing the hard lifting at the very early stages of Naturally Splendid, and going to see these institutions well before Naturally Splendid was ready for that type of investment, for that kind of clientele. The reason why we did this is it's easy to have hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20. If I went to institutions today for the first time and said, look where I've come, it's easy to say I predicted this all along. What we did instead, we got in front of these institutions a year ago, and we said with full knowledge, we are here too early. But when we secure our processing capacity, augment our management team, and begin to enter the market as far as creating POs, we will be back here to see you. And in the last, I guess, 4 or 5 months, we have spent significant time in front of multiple institutions in Toronto. We are actually we have plans to be in New York at some point in the summer, and all this is to be in front of institutions. They are making the calls to us now, rather than Naturally Splendid pursuing institutions, because what we have seen is that in this rush of medical marijuana, there were many companies that jumped into the opportunity, and many investors invested in a wide range of these medical marijuana opportunities. And when the bloom came off the rose, we saw a lot of those stocks, you know, come back to where they started. And what that forced investors to do was to look much harder at the individual companies in what was obviously a very popular investment category, being medical marijuana and industrial hemp. And that is very good news for Naturally Splendid, because the more detail that you research our company, the stronger we become. I will gladly put our management and advisory team up against all the other strong contenders in this space. I'll compare our processing capacity any day. I'll put our successes of our management and advisory team on an individual basis against the successes of other companies any day of the week. And this is very attractive to institutions. And in fact, when we go to Toronto, it's not just myself attending, but we're attending with people like David Race, and we're attending with people like Charlie Brink and PhD Dr. Rick Green. And when we go to these presentations at these institutions, we're going at a level of sophistication that we are getting a lot of respect, a lot of interest, and there is no lack of opportunity with these institutions. But once again, right now is not the time to be raising money with the share price where it's at, and we will only raise capital when we believe that there is a need to do so. But we are looking for institutional coverage. We're in communication with many institutions on an ongoing basis, and there is positive response from these type of corporations.
Craig, thank you for your presentation. We actually do have more questions, and we'd like for you to put up your last slide so that the audience can contact you at a later date for additional questions that they may have.
Absolutely. And so they're more than welcome to ask for me. I can also tell you that Brent Rusin works closely with me. We work literally down the hall from one another. If Brent is not able to address questions that you pose, by all means, ask him to reach out to me. I do try to get in front of or in contact with as many shareholders as possible. I usually talk to a couple or 3 or 4 a day, depending on my workload here at the office. But I do believe speaking with shareholders gives me invaluable feedback as to how the company is progressing. So I encourage you, please do reach out on naturallysplendid.com. There is a space to sign up for a newsletter that we would then keep you abreast of our developments on a month-to-month basis. But if you do want to pick up the phone and call, the numbers are displayed on the screen that you see now.
Thanks again, Craig, and we really appreciate your outreach to investors.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate your time. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to speak with your listeners, and we do like to keep in contact. We like to be a little bit different from many of the public companies out there, and we do take calls, we do interact, and we do address questions, good, bad, or indifferent, from our shareholders, and we are open for discussion. As I said before, I believe it's invaluable to be in contact with your investors and shareholders.
We thank you, Craig, and also we'd like to notify the public that Craig and Naturally Splendid will be attending the Canada Publicly Traded Companies Institutional Investor Conference next May. So we look forward to seeing Craig and Brent at the conference next year. And we appreciate Craig coming on here occasionally, giving investors the update. We really thank you, Craig. And our next presenter at 3 o'clock is Michael Berger at Technical 420. Thanks a lot, Craig.
Thank you very much, and thank you to your listeners for their time today.